Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, here for another vlog, and today we are going ahead and filling up the garden with some dirt. We're going to get it filled all the way up, probably to about here, because I want to give these plants plenty of room to grow. I'm also going to get rid of all these little tomato plants that are growing just from the seeds and fruit that fell over the year. But yeah guys, we went out this morning, got some dirt. I bought a wheelbarrow and even an air compressor for some future projects. So stay tuned for that, subscribe. We're gonna do some framing projects later on, probably when I get a new house too. We'll be doing some add-ons, even some sheds and whatnot. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so I've almost got this thing filled up completely, but I checked underneath just to see how everything was doing, and looks like we have a small problem. So if you look, you can see that this middle support here is bowing down, and it doesn't really show you on camera as much as in person, but it seems like all the weight is being held up by that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a support like here, right in the middle, with some scrap piece of wood that I have over by the fire. All right, so that should do it. I know it didn't, help the bow too much, but it should take, some of the weight and support it much better. Well, I've got the garden bed about halfway full maybe. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working. Now look guys, if you ever decide to do this for yourself, make sure you kind of watch what you're doing with the dirt, because there's a lot of plastic involved. No matter where you get it from, there's just plastic bags, little plastic ropes. You'll find little pieces in here. The whole reason that people grow their own food is to avoid the plastics and to eat more healthy and whatnot. So just keep that in mind. All right guys, so I got this bed all filled up with new dirt. This is much more than I had last year. So I'm very confident that this year's yield is going to be much better than last year's. I've got 4 more buckets that are coming. So I'm going to fill 4 more buckets, and these are going to be tomatoes. Probably some bush beans or pole beans, maybe the peppers, potatoes. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'll figure it out. But what my plan is I'm gonna build a rack for these buckets so that they're off the ground, just in case this boy right here decides to come over and start lifting his leg. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe later this week I'll build these racks and I'll put that in the video. And then let me show you what the next video is going to be about. So we're going to come over here and clean out this shed. I've just been throwing stuff in here, so it's a wreck right now. But I'm going to move these washer and dryer inside and sell the ones that I have in there already. And just kind of go through all the stuff that I have, figure out, you know, what kind of inventory I'm dealing with, because I have no idea what tools I have anymore and so forth. I just go buy new stuff. And while we do that, we will burn. But I'm probably going to use a lot of this scrap wood to build those racks for the buckets. So I'll show y'all how I do that later on.
So real quick, guys, I just want to give you a quick update on the plants that I have growing. I've got 3 butternut squash here. They're growing pretty nicely. I had one that was growing upside down. So like those leaves down at the bottom, they were growing down through the cup and the roots were sprouting on the top. So I don't know why that was happening. But we've got 3 butternut squash. We've got 4 tomatoes going. We've got a cucumber here. I'm still waiting on the peppers to sprout and the other tomatoes. These are the pole beans and the bush beans. Still waiting on those to come out. And then we've got 3 more cucumbers over here. So I'd say probably middle of April, late April, I'll go ahead and put those or all of these into the garden.
Okay guys, so we're back outside and we're gonna be building some racks for these buckets. But before I do that, I noticed while I was editing the video the other day that this is sagging. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another support, like probably towards the back, maybe one in the middle too. And then we'll go ahead and focus on those racks. All right guys, so now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and pick out some of the scrap wood to figure out what we're gonna build the racks with, exactly how we're gonna do it. Okay, so I've got these 3 pieces of wood right here. I think it's 1x3s. So what I'm gonna do is attach them to this existing support. So probably long ways here, put one here and one here, and then I can figure out how to get the buckets on there. Now I know this isn't perfect, but we're trying to save some money here. All right guys, so I've got the racks put in and the buckets installed. So now just imagine like some plants coming out. I actually want to add this leg right here in the middle just for a little extra support. Now I know it's not the prettiest, it's actually really ugly, but it's better than nothing. And I might actually install another one here so we could have buckets. And then when I get the other 3 or 4, I can put them right here. All right, guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're enjoying my content that I've been posting recently. I've got a lot more stuff that I have planned that I'm going to be releasing later on. And the next video that I make is going to be on cleaning out this shed, getting rid of all this trash, and probably putting the rest of that rack in. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. Subscribe if you enjoy watching. Please leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.